Viewers, this is a special broadcast on Times Now. You would remember when the film Kerala Story came out, the ecosystem dismissed the film as pure propaganda. This was a film based on what the Islamic State, the terror group Islamic State, does to young girls in Kerala. That was the storyline. But the lobby was quick to dismiss the film even before the film had released. Countering the propaganda of the lobby, Prime Minister Modi had in fact endorsed the film in a political rally. Now, as we speak, we have the second season of the film, if I could use the word season. The Kerala Story-2 goes beyond. That trailer is out. The film will be out soon on the 27th of February. And to talk about that film, I have with me Vipul Shah. He needs no introduction. And the director of the film, Kamakhya Narayan Singh. Vipul sir, Kamakhya ji, welcome to Times Now.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Vipul sir, I remember doing you at least half a dozen debates on Kerala Story when the film had come out then. You know, I had taken on those who said that there is no truth to this. Because even before the film, there had been a lot of commentary for years. And then you obviously explored the subject, put it together for people to see. But like I said in the beginning, it was all dismissed as propaganda. Given that kind of commentary and the reception, so to say, by the critics, why did you choose to make Kerala Story 2?
So the first and the most important point is that when you expose a criminal or a terrorist, he's not going to accept that he's done the crime. He's going to refuse it, right? And he's going to, what is his best mechanism to defend himself is to say that you are lying, you are trying to discredit the film, try and discredit the entire effort. But people saw through it. It became the highest grossing film in the history of Indian cinema, which is a female-centric film, right? So people gave them a befitting reply. The issue is not about how much success that film got on box office. The issue was that Kerala Story was dealing with a terror plot that happened in Kerala. In Kerala Story 2, what we are showing is that how a certain group of people is using this entire manipulative conversion as a tool to change the demography of India. Now, many girls at that time were arguing this is happening in Kerala, this is not happening in our city. We are showing them what's happening in their next door, maybe in their next lane. And they must be aware, they must be told that this is happening. And then maybe they will be able to understand the seriousness of this problem. You know, the problem with this lobby who is defining or defaming the film is that there are two sides to a film. One is the girls who are the victim, the families who are the victims, and the second side is of the criminal, the terrorists who are doing this act. And unfortunately, they choose to side with the terrorists. Now, if you look at Jangur Baba, he was called Jalaluddin, I think year and a half back or something like that, he was caught. And there is allegedly thousands of cases of conversion. Muhammad Gautam was sentenced to life imprisonment by the court for converting more than 1,000 girls. Recently, there was this gym jihad where gyms were used to trap the girls for the purpose of love jihad. Few days back, there was a case where a person was caught for converting more than 300 girls. How can you say that this is a propaganda? If so many thousands are not enough for you to get convinced, that means you have already decided an agenda in your mind that you are not going to accept the truth. But the audience is not that. Audiences are very, very sensitive, and audiences will definitely see through it. And definitely, we want to show this film to maximum girls, young girls, and the families of those girls in this country. And one last point on my beginning remark is that we are eternally grateful to the Censor Board of our Indian censor board, they have granted us a UA certificate, which means UA 16, which means a lot of young girls will be able to go and see the film, and which is the main purpose of this film, to show it to them so that they can be more aware in making their choices in their lives.
Vipul sir, I'm glad that you've put out the numbers in your opening remarks, because, like is the habit of this ecosystem slash lobby, whatever you want to call them, they just come for you. They don't want to even see logic or reasoning in your argument. They have a set notion, like you said, agenda is the word. And anyone who talks about these things, like, when you uttered the word jihad, in my head, I was already thinking of the commentary which will happen, once people hear this interview. They will say, look, Vipul Shah has turned Sangi. He is one Sangi producer. That is, so we are smiling, but I'm sure you're aware of, what people say or write. I want to ask you about the trailer with, which is out. I have seen, it says that a warning: in the next 25 years, India could be transformed into an Islamic state. In an environment that we are in currently, where you have someone like A.R. Rahman coming and saying, look, I'm getting less work because everything is polarized, communal, etc. For someone like you are a veteran in the industry. For someone like you to, to back a project and to say this in the trailer, what was the mindset?
The mindset was actually, and only thing is that we want to expose this crime to the world. We want to expose this entire ecosystem and show them the truth. Our girls are vulnerable. Our daughters are vulnerable. Our sisters are vulnerable. Our families are vulnerable. We want them to understand the reality from this perspective. And what we are showing in the film are absolute true events. There is not a single scene in the film which is fictional, which is dramatized. Of course, you add drama to a real episode, but every single scene is true. And that, I think, should serve as a very big eye-opener to millions and millions of families. Coming to Mr. Rahman, I was surprised actually that he made that comment, because when he was at his peak, he must have refused hundreds of producers that I don't want to do music of your film. And today, if you're not able to, deliver successful music, people may choose not to work with you. Where is the religion in this? When you were refusing to work with so many producers, were you not working with them on the religious basis? Or you were not working because you were busy and you were working with the top banners and the top directors? So it's a very convenient position to cry victim when things don't go your way. And I don't think a person as big as Rahman should have done this. It doesn't, I just couldn't accept it. It was too shocking. And what about those films that you have refused? Have you ever mentioned about them? No. So that is the problem. But anyway, coming to the larger picture, we want millions of vulnerable families to see this film. And we appeal to everybody that please see it. Please see through the propaganda that this film is a wrong film or a lying film or whatever. Whatever we are showing in the film is true. It will shake you to your soul, but it will also awaken you. So please go and watch it.
Let me, turn to Kamakhya ji. Kamakhya Narayan Singh is the director of the film. Kamakhya ji, my first question, and this is out of sheer curiosity. आपने फिल्म तो देखी होगी, obviously, केरला स्टोरी, और उसके अराउंड जैसे मैंने विपुल सर को पूछा कि क्या क्या नहीं कहा गया, ऐसा कुछ था ही नहीं जो छोड़ा गया, जो प्रोड्यूसर के बारे में लिखा गया, जो न्यूज एंकर्स, अगर मैं डिबेट करता था और मैंने जैसे कहा कि मैंने 6-7 इस पे डिबेट्स की, तो मुझे भी पता नहीं, वो तो हमको तो डेली बोलते हैं, बट मैं आपसे जानना चाहता हूं कि जब आपको ये अप्रोच किया गया तब आपको डर नहीं लगा कि मुझे भी ऐसे ब्रांड कर देंगे?
देखिए, इससे तो कभी डर लगा नहीं, और पिछले 2-3 साल से मैं डेमोग्राफी के ऊपर काम कर रहा था. तो I was doing documentaries, I was doing a lot of other things, and I was doing study on it. And I felt it's a true story. As a filmmaker, because my background is documentary, so anything which has true events that has to be told to the society. It might be hard, it might be shocking, but society has to take it. Society has to understand it. If society can't understand it, then they will not be prepared to what is going to happen in future. There is a great plan to change the demography of this country. Some foolish they call it ki in 2047 they will do Gazwai Hind. But yeah, in longer future they have. It can happen if we are not conscious enough. We are not ready for it. There is a war inside our country which is going on, and under that our girls are being used, our daughters, our sisters, they are being used to convert this country into Gazwai Hind, which will not happen. We will keep trying, we'll keep trying doing this kind of films.
Okay. Vipul sir, you know, when someone says that there is a war going on and the person then backs the claim by data, by hard facts, but despite all of that, there is always the risk of being called an alarmist. When someone calls you or your project alarmist, that when you say in the next 25 years India could be transformed into an Islamic state, what would you tell that that group section? How would you convince them that look, we are not being alarmist?
So first and foremost, this number of 2047, they want to do Ghazwa Hind, or by 2047 they want to convert India into an Islamic state, is not something that we have coined. There have been documents have been seized from various places where they have written that design for themselves, right? And there are organizations which have been banned for writing such material and propagating it. So we are not coining this word. We are not bringing it out of thin air, or it's not our imagination. But again, if somebody doesn't want to really accept what they have written, then I can't go on, I can't convince them. You can only wake up a man who's sleeping. You can't wake up a man
True.
who is already awakened, right? So you can't do that. So that is their choice if they want to continue to live in that lie and propagate that lie. But the most important thing is that if you cannot, if you want to call me an alarmist, okay, fine. The question is, if I am alarming people with truth, if my stories are truth, then I have no problem. You call me by any name. It doesn't matter. After the first film, thousands of parents have come and told me that you have saved the lives of our daughter. So that to me is the biggest blessing that I have got in my entire life. Even if you can save one life, it's one too many. But here, thousands of parents have told us, we want that number to become, we want that number to multiply with this film. We want millions of families to come and say, you saved our daughter. I think that would be the biggest blessing of our lives, and we'll be indebted to everybody who's allowed us this opportunity to make this film and expose this, this horrible crime that is happening in our society.
This is an ideological war. There is no other way to describe it. And, we should not shy away from speaking about it as long as we have the facts and numbers on our side. Kamakhya ji, when you cut a trip...
something on this?
जी, बोलिए.
देखिए, सिनेमा को कम्युनिकेशन का टूल माना जाता है. आप केरला स्टोरी 1 के पहले देखेंगे कि कोई भी विमर्श इस तरह का नहीं था देश में. पीपल वर टॉकिंग, बट सब घर के अंदर बात कर रहे थे. पहली बार जब केरला स्टोरी 1 आई तो लोगों ने समाज में बात करना शुरू किया कि ऐसी घटनाएं घट रही हैं. और उसके बाद अगर आप देखें केरला पिछले 2 साल में, आप अगर न्यूज स्पेक्ट्रम को देखें तो हर दिन एक ऐसी कहानी आपको मिल जाएगी. उसके बाद अगर केरला स्टोरी 2 आता, पर कुछ लोग डिनायल मोड में थे कि नहीं, पूरे देश में नहीं हो रहा है. तो बहुत जरूरी था कि ये पूरे देश में आपको बताया जाए कि पूरे देश में हो रहा है. मैं आज अभी आधे घंटे पहले मैं किसी व्यक्ति से मिला, वो मुझे कह रहे हैं कि तुम लोग जो बना रहे हो बहुत सही बना रहे हो. 15 साल पहले मेरी बहन के साथ भी ऐसा हुआ था और ये सबकी आप बीती है. परसों मुझे कोई मिला, वो मुझे कहा कि मेरी बहन को इस तरह से उठा के लेके, जिस दिन 18 साल 1 दिन की हुई उस दिन मेरी बहन को उठा के लेके चले गए. So there are lot of stories, and as a filmmaker it is our responsibility to bring out those stories and let people speak now. So people will get courage कि yes, this happened to us. So जो कारपेट के नीचे दबा हुआ था उसको ये फिल्म बाहर निकालने की कोशिश कर रही है और इसके बाद और बड़ी बातें होंगी इस पे।
नहीं, वो जो आप कह रहे हैं, मैं तो सहमत हूं उससे। और जैसे विपुल सर कह रहे थे कि ये जो बात है दैट इन द नेक्स्ट 25 years इंडिया कुड बी ट्रांसफॉर्म्ड इनटू एन इस्लामिक स्टेट, ये कोई उनका इमेजिनेशन नहीं है या फैंटेसी नहीं है। डॉक्यूमेंट्स वर सीज्ड इन पटना, देयर वर रेड्स इन बिहार, पीएफआई वाज इन्वॉल्व्ड, एनआईए वाज सीज्ड ऑफ द मैटर। पॉलिटिकल रैली से देश के जो गृह मंत्री अमित शाह, उन्होंने बोला है, he thanked Prime Minister Modi for stopping the PFI conspiracy. All of that is in public domain. Vipul sir, you know, like you said, ye Kerala story and now the second part. Is there a new wave of cinema? What has inspired that? क्योंकि अब एक कहा जा रहा है कि अगर पहले की कुछ गलतियां हैं तो उसको करेक्ट करने के लिए अब डिस्टॉर्शन चल रहा है।
देखिए, डिस्टॉर्शन तब होता है जब आपकी कहानी में सच नहीं होता। इफ यू आर fictionalizing the story, then you are distorting. पर अगर आप factual हैं, अगर आपका हर सीन आप कहीं भी खड़े होके वैलिडेट कर सकते हैं, किसी को भी वो प्रूफ दिखा सकते हैं, तो फिर वो डिस्टॉर्शन नहीं है। सिर्फ समाज को अपनी आंखें खोल के एक कड़वी सच्चाई को, एक अनकंफर्टेबल ट्रूथ को देखने की हिम्मत जुटाने में थोड़ा वक्त लगता है। हम क्योंकि एज अ कंट्री, एज अ सोसाइटी, we are very civil, we are very soft. That is why we don't like to speak about uncomfortable truths in public. We like to talk about it within our own groups. So when somebody comes and brings it in the boldest possible manner, then that person kind of shakes a lot of things. That is what Kerala Story did when that film came. And I can tell you one thing, that this particular version, second part of this film, is going to be way more explosive than part one. And we have taken a very truthful, very bold and honest approach. जो जैसा है वैसा ही हमने दिखाया है, because this is about our country's daughters, this is about our sisters, this is about our families, and we need to be honest, we need to be bold, we need to be courageous, and we need to, catch the bull by the horn. Otherwise, इस पे soft debate की कोई गुंजाइश ही नहीं।
Sir, the trailer also says इस बार सहेंगे नहीं लड़ेंगे. Now, many people will say ये जो I was talking about this new wave of cinema, जैसे धुरंधर में भी एक वो लाइन है, ये नया भारत है, ये सहेगा नहीं घुस के मारेगा, something to this effect.
सर, ये लाइन हमारी फिल्म फोर्स 2 में मैं 10 साल पहले ही कर चुका।
No, sir, I am not saying that this line is inspired. No. I didn't.
That is the new India that we are actually talking
That's
about.
precisely my question, sir. You know, when you say new India, and I get the spirit. This is that house the Josh spirit. When you talk of new India, people say that you are Sanghi. या तो आप मोदी भक्त हैं. You know, all of that. How do you take that?
So I'm very open about it, that I believe in our Prime Minister's work and I believe in him completely, and I'm a big fan of him. So if you want to call me a bhakt, that's your choice. I have no problems with that. People can have ideological choices to make. They can choose to back other parties. That is their choice. My choice is that I believe in what our PM has done. I have been seeing his work since Gujarat days, because I am also from Gujarat. Though I'm born and brought up in Bombay, but I am a Gujarati. So I've been following his work, and I'm mighty impressed with what he's done for this country and the way it is transforming every day. If for that you want to call me names, please go ahead, call me names. I have no problems with that. I'm very comfortable with myself. I sleep very well because I know कि मैंने झूठ नहीं बोला है. Neither tab part 1 ke time, nor today, nor in future, I will not lie. I'll stand with the truth. So I will sleep peacefully. Name calling is part of social media's game also. It gives a lot of viral content की एक अपनी जगह बन जाती है. So please go ahead and call me names. No problems with that. And as far as calling me Sanghi is concerned, I think Sangh has been doing some amazing work. And you can have opposition on ideological level, but you cannot deny the beautiful work that they've done. And I completely understand and support some of the brilliant things that Sangh has been doing. There's no problem with that. And just because I believe in Mr. Modi or what Sangh has been doing, it doesn't make me make a film which is based on lies. I won't do it ever.
कामाख्या जी, विपुल सर तो तैयार हैं, वो तो बोल रहे हैं कि यू कैन कॉल मी। वो आप तैयार हैं ये सब जो आपके तरफ बोला जाएगा, फेंका जाएगा?
यस, उसके लिए तो जीवन भर तैयार रहा हूं। आप मेरी डॉक्यूमेंट्रीज देखें, मैंने आर्टिकल 370 के ऊपर एक डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनाई है, मैंने आर्टिकल 35 के ऊपर डॉक्यूमेंट्री बनाई है। तो मैं निरंतर काम करता रहा हूं अपने भारत की संस्कृति, अपने भारत के विचारधाराओं पे। तो मुझे डर नहीं है, कभी भी डर नहीं है। और देखिए, सच बोलने से अगर डर लगे तो आपको अपना काम छोड़ देना चाहिए। आप कुछ भी कर रहे हो, हम तो इस देश में कम्युनिकेशन का काम करते हैं। अगर हम सच बोलना छोड़ देंगे तो इस देश का इतिहास आपको कभी माफ नहीं करेगा।
तो ये जो ट्रेलर आप लोगों ने रिलीज किया है, व्हेन अ ट्रेलर इज कट, अब अगर हमारे व्यूअर्स को थोड़ा समझाएं, तो उसमें कोई स्पेसिफिक थॉट था कि यू नो दिस इज आवर वे टू एंटाइस पीपल टू सिनेमाज, तो इसमें ये लगा दो, ये डाल दो, ऐसा कुछ?
सी देखिए, दैट इज एन आर्ट, वो एक अलग चीज है। पर हम चाहते लोग सिनेमा में आके देखें, कम से कम उनकी आंखें खुले। हम आंखें बंद कर लेंगे तो ये जो घटनाएं घट रही हैं वो खत्म नहीं हो जाएगी और बढ़ जाएगा। तो जरूरी है कि लोगों को जब ट्रेलर देखे तो उनको समझ आए कि देश में ऐसी चीजें हो रही हैं। मैं एक बार जाके फिल्म देख लेता हूं ताकि मॉड्यूल क्या है वो तो समझे कि कैसे करते हैं। कोई नाम बदल के आता है, कोई जो कमजोरी क्या होता है, इमोशनल कमजोरियां होती है, उसको पकड़ के लड़की को फंसा लेता है, कोई इंटेलेक्चुअल बन के फंसाता है। तो इन सारी चीजों को लोगों को पता चलना चाहिए, किस तरह से क्या मॉड्यूल है जिसमें वो लड़कियों को फंसाते हैं, हमारी बच्चियों को फंसाते हैं, हमारी बहनों को फंसाते हैं। मैं नहीं सी, दो चीजें हैं। एक तो डेमोग्राफी बदलेगा, एक बड़ी बात है। दूसरा कि जो हमारी बेटियां जो परेशान होती हैं, जो जिस तरह से हमारे आसपास वो पलते बड़े होते हैं, और जब वो इन घरों में जाती है जिस तरीके से, क्योंकि वो एक मॉड्यूल का हिस्सा बन जाती हैं, तो जो कष्ट का सामना करना पड़ता है उनको ना करना पड़े। हमारे देश में श्रद्धा वालकर वापस ना हो, हमारे देश में तारा सचदेव जैसी कहानियां ना हो, उसके लिए हमें जरूरी है कि हम अपने देश के लोगों को जागरूक करें।
तो आप जैसे कह रहे हैं कि ये ट्रू इवेंट्स पे बेस्ड है और कुछ भी फिक्शनलाइज नहीं है, तो जो आजकल एक फैक्ट चेकिंग इकोसिस्टम भी है, वो भी आपके तरफ कुछ वो काउंटर्स रखेंगे, आप उसके लिए भी प्रिपेयर्ड है ना?
यस यस यस, वो प्लीज रखें। हम जो बहुत सारी डिग्रीज मिली है, कोर्ट के जजमेंट्स हैं।
लेट मी आंसर दिस।
यस सर।
ध्रुव राठी ने एक वीडियो बनाया था जब हमारी पहली फिल्म आई थी, और ध्रुव राठी ने क्लेम किया था कि जो हमारा 32,000 का नंबर है वो सब झूठा है वगैरह वगैरह। हमने 6 जून को ध्रुव राठी की पूरी रिसर्च को एक्सपोज किया एक वीडियो डाल के डॉक्यूमेंट्स के साथ, और हमने ध्रुव राठी को कहा कि अब इस पे आप जवाब दीजिए। आप जो कहते हैं कि हमारा जो आंकड़ा है कर्नाटक अपना केरला असेंबली का, हमने उसका डॉक्यूमेंट उस वीडियो के अंदर लगा के रखा, हमें उसका जवाब कभी नहीं आया। और
सर वो आएगा भी नहीं, बिकॉज दीज आर हिट एंड रन ऑपरेशंस।
करेक्ट। तो 6 जून से वो वीडियो आज भी यूट्यूब पे अवेलेबल है। 17 मिनट का वीडियो है जिसमें हमने वो 32,000 का पूरा आंकड़ा लोगों को गिन के दिखा दिया। बट जो लोग हम पे इल्जाम लगा रहे थे या हमको नाम से नेम कॉलिंग कर रहे थे, none of them had the courage to come and challenge that particular video, and that is what the truth। फिर तो आपको पता है ना कि सच्चाई किस तरफ है, and that is how people have seen the film, that's how millions and millions of people have seen the film, because they believed our story and not Mr. Dhruv Rathi or anybody else's story.
Vipul sir, my final question to you is this, that and don't be surprised when I ask you this, there is a so-called secular ecosystem. They like to call themselves secular. The truth is that they've never understood the real meaning of the word secular. That ecosystem will tell you that, look, this film, Mr. Shah, is an attempt to malign an entire community. What would you tell them?
See, this is a very bad argument, because when you show For example, मैंने जिंदगी में I have made 23 films, and out of 23 films, 19 or 20 films have a Hindu character playing a negative part. So by that logic, I am against Hindu community. शोले में गब्बर सिंह है तो वो राजपूत है, तो क्या रमेश सिप्पी साहब पूरी राजपूत कम्युनिटी के अगेंस्ट थे? ऐसा नहीं होता. You are exposing criminals who are involved in this particular scam. And I actually want to appeal to all the seculars that if you are true seculars, go after the criminals. Don't go after victims. Rather, victims को support करिए, उनके साथ खड़े रहिए, support them, help them, and expose these criminals and put them behind bars. Punish them. Then you will be true secular. If you're not going to do that, and if you're going to, call us names for supporting the victims, then that's your choice. That's on your conscience. Our conscience is very clear. We are always, through my life, I'll be standing with the victim.
Well said, sir. I wish you all the best for Kerala Story 2 Goes Beyond. The trailer is out. The film releases soon. Thank you for this opportunity where we could explore these topics. Kamakhya ji, Vipul sir, all the best. Thank you for speaking to Times Now.
Thank you so much.